Right, good afternoon class. So today we're looking at financial maths. At this point we are busy with present value formula, correct? We had to do question 3, exercise 3 for homework. Okay. You were absent yesterday, no? Did you watch the video? You wasted your time. So how could you done it? You didn't do the homework then? What? You're so sick for one day. Every time I woken up I would have played a sticky of the video and fell asleep. But you're not that committed yet. You understand? So, and I see these people that swap seats and stuff like that. It's nice. You were never sitting in front? Oh, I thought you at this point in your life that you say, okay, now we're going to actually work. But I looked at the situation wrong. I always think the best of people. Okay. Right, here we go. People, exercise 3, any problems with number 1? But you should not take a normal seat. You are visiting. But it's fine, I'm joking. Your mama. But we see you work today. Right, people, number 1. Any problems number 1? No, right? Who's I? You go, that's a straightforward sum. Yeah? Number 2? No? Right. Number 3? Mr. Taylor, you're right? Mr. Taylor is not right? Well, no problems with Mr. Taylor. Number 4? Yes? A problem? Yes is okay? Problem, okay. Laika takes out a lot. Laika shouldn't be taking out a lot. No? Why? Haram. Interest and all that stuff. No? Haram. But anyway, maybe Laika is not Muslim. Okay. Laika takes out a loan to buy a car. She pays 2,550 rand every 6. Oh, so maybe she took it by Al Baraka Bank. Halal investments. Okay, she takes out a loan to buy a car. She pays 2,500 rand every 6 months towards a loan. Okay, wait. Takes out a loan to buy a car. She pays 2,250 rand every 6 months towards a loan for the next 4 full years starting immediately. That is 9 payments. How much can she borrow if the interest is charged at 12% per annum compounded half yearly? So is the compound interest regularity in line with the payment regularity? Yes. Every 6 months is compounded semi-annually. Okay. So she starts paying immediately. So what did we say then? We said if it starts paying immediately, then the first payment is going to be considered as a deposit. Yes, I said that yesterday. So the first payment will be considered as a deposit. So what's the question? How much can she borrow? So in other words, we are actually calculating the present value, the borrowed amount. Okay. So the present value, whatever the present value is, we're taking off the x from there. Okay? Because that says the deposit, and your x value, of course, we first write down the formula. X into 1 minus 1 plus I to the exponent minus 1, n minus 1 plus I to the exponent negative n over I. So since the first payment is going to be considered as a deposit, so PV minus 2,250 rand equals 2,250 into 1 minus 1 plus 0, 0, 0,12, almost 12 over 100, 0,12 over 2 to the exponent negative 2 times 9 over 2. No, not 9. It's 8. 8 over 2, which is 8 over I, which is 0,12. Why does I say 8 over 2? Because, yes, 4 full years, or since it's 9 payments, I've accounted for 1 payment, so I'm left with 8 payments of half yearly. Okay, that's the one way of looking at it. Or you could have said, because that is your end value, and how many years is it going to be? For 4 years. So 8 over 2 is 4 anyway. Okay. So what I do is I say PV is equal to, and I punch the calculator. So I get, yes? Sorry? What about the 9 payments? Yeah, then we accounted for this one already. So how many interest months are there? Yeah, 8 interest, not 8 interest periods, and not 9. Because of that, one payment is coming off here already. You understand? Sorry? Yeah, starting immediately. What 2? The 2 is compounded semi-annually. If it was compounded monthly, I would have divided by 12 times 12 here. If it's quarterly, I would have divided by 4 and times 4 here. You understand? But because it's semi-annually, that's a 2 and there's a 2. Okay? So it's going to be 2,250 Rand into 1 minus 1 plus 0,12 over 12 to the exponent negative 2 times 4, and this is over 0,12 over 2. Then what did we do? We must bring that negative 2250, this amount, and bring over the equal sign. So it becomes plus 2,250. This gives us 5,000. Is that correct? Let's check if the answer is correct. Sorry? Not correct. Yeah, it doesn't look correct. You just check, maybe I punched something wrong in here. So it's 2,250 into 1 minus 1 plus. Oh, I got to divide by 12 here. It's divided by 2. 60,222 Rand. Yeah, I made a mistake when I entered that value in there. So I put the 12, it's actually 2. Okay. So 16,222, comma, 04. So that is a loan amount that she will be able to make, given this scenario here. Okay. Where was what mistake did you make, Michael? Who asked this question? Did you ask? Somebody else? Yes.
So I thought multiply
the end by 9 payment.
Yeah.
Okay. But remember starting immediately. You see, this one is different to investments. Remember, investment we added 1 on the end. For payments, it doesn't work so. It's a bit different. That first installment, when you start paying immediately, must be treated as a deposit. That's why I took it off from the present value total. Okay. Right. Any problems number 5? Is there number 5? Right. Any problems number 5? No, Mr. Abrams is fine. Number 6? Huh? No? Number 7? Yes. There's no number 7? Sure, I got that. Let me just check. What is it? Okay, number 7. A car dealership sells Mr. Matabeni a car on these conditions. He will pay 15,000 rand, 15% deposit and a monthly payment of 800 rand for the period of 6 years. Okay? Starting in 1 month's time. So, starting in 1 month's time means to say that there's no variation on the formula in terms of starting to pay immediately. No? The interest on the loan will be charged at 10% per annum, compounded half yearly. So what do you notice here? There's a discrepancy in terms of your interest charged at 10% per annum, compounded half yearly, and the frequency of the investment he's making a monthly investment. You see that? So it has to be, so we must convert the interest to a monthly compounding. Does it make sense? Right. So yesterday I showed you a way of changing the formula. So in this case it will be 1 plus I, it's compounded semi-annually, over 2 to the 2 is equal to 1 plus I to a compounded monthly, 12 to the 12 over 12. It is a compounded half yearly of 10%. So it's going to be 1 plus 0, 1 over 2 to the exponent 2 is equal to 1 plus I to the 12 over 12 to the 2. So my first thing is to get rid of that 12, it's 12 the root both sides. Then I take that 1 over and then I multiply it by 12. So your I is going to be 12 into the 12th root of 1 plus 0, 1 over 2 raised to the power 2 minus 1. So your right hand works out to be, it's a 12 open brackets, the 12th root of open bracket 1 plus 0, 1 over 2 to the exponent 2 minus 1. Going to give you 0,097 times by 100 to get the rate, which is going to be, whoops, times 100 gives you 9,78. Okay. The first question was to show that the equivalent monthly interest rate on the loan was 9,8% per annum. You see, this was a show that we proved that question. Once you get that, you can't use this in your calculation. You must just end off with it. You guys understand? Another reason why they give you that is because if you had made a mistake here, we don't want you to come up with, everybody has their own different answer. If you had got a 9.6 here percent, then in your next question, you must use 9.8. Okay, you must use what is given to you. Otherwise, you're going to forfeit all those marks that follows dealing with that interest rate. Okay. So watch out for that in your exams. Alright. So the next question says, determine the value of the loan. So the loan amount, this is PV is equal to x into 1 minus 1 plus I to the minus n over I. So he's paying 800 rand per month for 1 plus You'll be using this interest rate, say 0,098, compounded monthly, the negative 12 times. How many years is this going to be for? 6 years. All over I, which is 0,098 over 12. That gives us 800 into 1 minus 1 plus 0,098 over 12. The exponent, negative 12 times 6. This is all over 0,098 over 12. Gives you 43,000, is that correct? 43,418 rand and 94 cents. Okay. 43,418 rand and 94 cents. Okay. Then I want you to calculate the original cash price of the car. The original cash price of the car. So, if you're looking at the cash price of the car, you must remember that the loan amount, we look here, 15% of it is paid in a deposit. So is that inclusive of the loan amount? No. So how do we work out that? We say the cash price times how much is the loan amount of 15%, the deposit 15%. So the loan amount is how much? 85%. Not so? Together we'll make 100%. So this is going to be 85 over 100. Why am I going with 85 over 100? Because I have the loan amount. Can you see that? I don't have the deposit amount. I have the loan amount. Okay? And that loan amount, of course, is the cash price times 85 over 100, which is 85%, is equal to 43,418,94. So to get the cash price, you simply that answer, our last answer calculated on the calculator, divided by 85 over 100 gives us 51,000. 51,081 rand and 10 cents. Is that correct? Yeah? That's a cash price. So it's 51,081,1. The next question is 7.4. Calculate how much Mr. Matabeni will pay in total for his car. So what he's paying in total is, every month he's paying 800 rand, plus he made the initial deposit. Not so. So the total he paid is going to be 800 rand. How many 800 rands is doing it? For 6 years at the monthly frequency, plus your deposit. Now you work out the deposit. It's going to be a deposit, which is going to be 51,018,10 minus the loan amount. Can you see that? We'll give you a deposit price. So the loan amount was 43,418,94. Okay, so it's 800 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 12. Okay, plus the deposit, which is, this is the last calculation made in the calculator, no? Right, so it's answer minus, you don't need this in a bracket actually, 43,418 rand and 94 cents. Gives us 65,000. Is that correct? 65,262 rand and 16 cents. Okay. 7.5. Here's the amount here. You see how much interest this person is paying over a 5-year period. See how much the car cost. The car was 51,000. No, that's not the interest. So the next question is the interest. Okay. So in the last question, I asked to calculate the interest. 7.5. Calculate how much interest Mr. Matabani paid if he agrees to this plan. The interest is going to be, he pays in total 65,262 rand and 16 cents. The original cash price of the car is 51,081 rand and 10 cents. So that is the last answer calculated. So it's answer minus 51,081.1 gives you 14,000 rand. 14,181, comma 06. Okay. And this is how the question is asked mainly in the exam. Okay. You work out this, and then you work out that, and you might work out inflation, things like that. Annuity application and problem solving. That's your next heading. Sinking funds. We're going to talk about this now. Right, we are reading, which page is this on? Example on page 71. Annuity application and problem solving. Sinking fund. So basically what happens in a company is what we will be reading. Okay? Because what happens is companies basically save for major purchases like equipment and equipment and vehicles. Okay? They basically even land and buildings. What they do is they save money for the future. So instead of taking out a loan to when you take out the loan, you must pay interest, not so. So what a company does is they actually save money. So for in 5 years' time, when that vehicle with the equipment must be replaced, okay, they actually have money at hand. So by saving money, they're actually gaining an interest. Does it make sense? Whereas if they have to make a loan, they would have to pay interest. Okay. So this is what they will be explaining. Okay. Companies often purchase expensive equipment they will use for a specific specified time, like machinery or computers or vehicles, whatever. That only lasts a certain time period. Not so. After that, your computer is outdated, or your equipment is outdated, or whatever the reason may be. Okay, or your vehicles is outdated. Alright. They then sell the old equipment at scrap value. So what is scrap value? Is the depreciated value of the item once it has been reached the end of its useful time, a lifetime. Okay. So basically what happens is, after 5 years your computer is worth nothing. Not so. Or after 5 years your vehicle, which currently costs 150,000 rand for argument's sake, will be worth maybe 40,000. Can you see that? So our school taxi is worth 600,000 rand? Yeah? How much do you think it is? Cheaper than that. I think it's a bit more expensive. 600,000? It's worth on 600,000. After 5 years, you think the vehicle will still be 600,000? No. It will be worth less than that. Not so. Why? Because it depreciates. Okay? That depreciates on reducing balance sheet. So that vehicle will always be worth something. Not so. So maybe after 6 years, that 600,000 rand vehicle is worth 50,000 rand. Then I can buy it. No? But 600,000 I can't buy it. Okay. So, alright, so we are read again. They then sell the old equipment at scrap value. So scrap value is that 60,000 rand at which it's worth. Okay, that is called scrap value. Okay, the scrap value, and purchase a new replacement item. Now you see, when I buy the van by the school for 60,000 rand, they don't say, okay, let's have a staff party now with that 60,000. No. Why, Mr. Bardina, he really needs a computer? No. No, he doesn't do that. What they do is they take that 60,000 rand and they put it towards the new vehicle as a deposit for the new vehicle as well. Does that make sense? No? So that vehicle that they're getting 60,000 rand after 6 years for, they then use that as a part payment of the new vehicle. Okay. To have the money available to purchase the new equipment, the company usually plans ahead and sets up a fund. So what happens is the company sets up a fund and it's called a sinking fund. Okay? You always hear sinking fund. In other words, they are setting up a fund to buy the new taxi in 5 years' time. But when do they start paying? Immediately. Or not immediately. They start paying now already in preparation to buy the taxi in 5 years' time. Or the equipment or whatever. Okay, and that is called a sinking fund. They make regular payments into the sinking fund to save for the lump sum required to replace the equipment when it reaches the end of its useful life. The company uses the scrap value of the old equipment and the money available in the sinking fund together to purchase the replacement item. Okay? You guys understand that? So together, that money that they save, and the 60,000 rand I will be giving them for the taxi, together, that is going to be used to buy the new vehicle. Okay? But there's other factors in that takes place as well. Let's see now. as we read through this a further explanation given. Okay. So now here we are told, remember that these three important aspects of a sinking fund situation. Since the sinking fund involves regular fixed payments providing money for the future value in annuity plans. Not so? This person, the school is saving for the future, so it has to be future value formula. Not so? So future value. Annuity formula. So you remember one, so that goes this formula here. Not so? Then we have to determine the scrap value. Now what is scrap? The scrap is your depreciated value. Not so? So determine the scrap value of the old piece of equipment, or taxi in this case, use a formula for compound decay. Here we go, that is that formula. Okay? What's wrong? Okay? You determine the expected cost of replacement. Now remember, if that taxi is worth 600,000 rand now, in 6 years' time, would it still be 600,000? No. So it'll go up. And what do we call that? Inflation. Not so. So the value of the van goes up. So in 6 years' time, the van will be worth, the purchase price of the van may be 1 million rand. You understand? So what happens is, that van, so we start off at 600,000 rand. It might be more, as I said. But you're going to sell the van to me for 60,000 rand, not so? So this is the scrap value. Not so? But we see the van is also going to draw in inflation. For in 6 years' time, the inflation would be maybe 1 million rand for that van. The van will cost 1 million rand. So what is the shortfall? What do they need to, on that, after 6 years, buy the vehicle cash? How much do they need? They would need 1 million minus 60,000, which is 940,000 rand. And this is going to be what the sinking fund would need. Can you see that, people? So this is the sinking fund value. Okay, but you'll see, it will be more clear when we do another calculation on it. Okay. Alright, let's look at the first example. There's only one example. So it's fairly simple. Is it the example on page? I think it's 71. Just check then. A company purchases a photocopying machine for 270,000. The photocopying machines are very expensive. No? Very expensive. Many schools doesn't buy their own copy machines anymore. What they do is they rent a copy machine for 5 years. Okay, so we pay installments every month to rent the machine. Okay, after 5 years, they come fetch the machine. They must take out a new contract for another 5 years. So after 5 years, they will sell the machine for maybe 100,000 rand, 80,000 rand, and then they bring us a new one of 500,000. And again, we must pay for 5 years. Why? Because the school can't afford a machine of 270,000. Okay, maybe we can. Not we, but the school now. Okay. But most of the schools, they can't afford. Okay. The schools I was at always spoke about this how expensive the copy machine is and all of these things. Okay. But anyway, a company buys a photocopying machine for 270,000. The company expects to replace the machine in 5 years' time. Okay? They anticipate that the cost of the machine to escalate at 16% compound interest. So what is happening there? Inflation. Not so. They expect that the present machine to have a scrap value of 100,000 rand. Okay? In 5 years' time, when they sell it, the company sets up a sinking fund to save for the new copying machine. The new copying machine. They will use the amount they obtained from the scrap value of the old machine and the money in the sinking fund after 5 years to purchase a new machine. The company will pay a fixed monthly amount into the sinking fund starting in 1 month's time. So starting in 1 month's time, is there any variation on your end value? No. Okay? Starting in 1 month's time, and we'll make a final payment at the end of the 5-year period. So that is in line with what we currently working. Okay? The interest earned on the sinking fund is 10% per annum, compounded monthly. Determine the cost of the new machine in 5 years' time. So what are we calculating in number 1? We're calculating inflation, not so. So the expected price of 5 years' time, so that would be A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent. So what's your P value? Sorry? 270,000 into 1 plus I, 16%, so 0.16 to the exponent 5. So it was 5 years time. Let's work that out. It's going to be 270,000 into 1 plus 0.16 to the exponent 5. Gives you 567,000. 567,000 and 92 rand and 25 cents. Okay. You all okay with that? And clean your glasses. You can see now what's coming. Okay. Right. You got it. Let's look at the next part. Next week. You all understand this, no? That is normally worth 3 marks. Okay. You'll see now how you get 15 marks with this question. Next question, number 2. Number 2 says, the rate of depreciation of the old machine on the reducing balance method. Okay, so number 2. The question says, the rate of depreciation, so you're calculating your I value. Not so. Of the old machine on reducing balance method. What's the formula for reducing balance method? A is equal to P into 1 minus I to the exponent. Not so. So what is your A value? The rate of depreciation of the old machine on reducing balance. Yes. What is the purchase price of that machine? What was the original price? Yes? 270,000. 1 minus I is what you're calculating for 6 years. And what is your A value? Sorry? Sorry? No. What is the machine being sold for after 6 years or 5 years? Huh? 100,000 rand, yes. Right? Can you all see that, people? So what do? I divide both sides by 270,000. 270,000. Then what do? I take the 5th root. Not so? So what's going to happen is, the 1,000 cancel the 1,000. So it's 10 over 27. No? 10 over 27. So I take the 5th root both sides. Then I'm left with 1 minus I. Not so? I take the 1 over becomes minus 1. So I'm left with negative I. So I divide both sides by, or multiply both sides by, negative 1. And that's how we calculate my rate. Okay? So it's 10 over 27. The 5th root of 10 over 27. Right, minus 1. You must time that answer by negative 1 times 100. Gives me 18,02. Okay. Is that correct? 18,02%. So that is 4 marks. Okay? If it was a straight calculation, it would be 3 marks. But because it's manipulation in the formula, you need to manipulate and change the subject of the formula, it's extra mark. Okay? So 4 marks. You're standing on 7 already. Okay? You see now why everybody gets close to 4 marks with this question. Okay? When I say talk about everybody, I talk about everybody that do their work. No? Don't forget. Before you now come and you tell me, September, see, I got 1 out of 15 for this question. So you've been lying to us all the time. No, it's people that actually works. Okay. So let's look at that. And most of you are from them, no? Okay, so you guys agree with what I'm thinking. Number 3. The amount required for the sinking fund in 5 years' time. So how do we work that out? The amount needed for the sinking fund in 5 years' time. Remember, the sinking fund value is a future value. How much do they need? They would need 567,092 rand and 25 cents. Minus what? How much are they getting back for the machine? 100,000. Not so. It's going to be minus 100,000. It's going to give me 467,092 rand and 25 cents. That is your sinking fund value. That is what they need to save for the future. That is 1 mark. Okay, we assign 8 marks already. Okay, you guys understand? Right, next question. Put that there. Wa alaikum salam. Number 4. Number 4 says, okay, the sum is also worth 4 marks. So at least 12 marks for this question. The whole question is worth 12 marks. Okay. So 4 marks on this one. I thought there was another one after that. Okay, but anyway, the question says, determine the value of the fixed monthly payment or payments the company must pay into the sinking fund. So which formula do you think we're going to use there? Future value formula. So if V is equal to X into 1 plus I to the exponent n minus 1 over I. Okay. So what value do we need in the future? 467,092 rand and 25 cents equals X, the monthly payment. And that's what we always calculate in the set. Okay? Into 1 plus. What is your investment? The interest earned of the sinking fund is 10%. So it's going to be 0.1 over 12 to the exponent 12 times. For how many years are they saving for? 5 years. Minus 1 all over I, which is 0.1 over 12. So in pursuit of calculating X, I cross multiply. So 467,092 rand and 25 cents must be multiplied by, cross multiplied by 0.1 over 12. Okay? So what I have is 3,892,43 is equal to this factor here. Times X. Not so? So what I do to get X on its own, I divide that what is in blue, both sides, okay? So then I say answer over 1 plus 0.1 over 12 to the exponent 12 times 5 minus 1. That means to say they must do a deposit on a monthly basis for 6 years. an amount of 6,031 rand and 89 cents. Right, you guys understand? Okay. Homework is exercise 4. There's only 2 sums there, okay? And here is somebody asking for more. My ears lying to you. Okay. I thought you people are the people that wants to work. Not yet, okay. So you do for me number 1 and 2. Okay, exercise 4, there's only 2 sums. People enjoy this every day. Good afternoon, class. Dina, come see me tomorrow first break, no?
First break.
Yeah, with your men's break. Don't stay absent tomorrow.
So why would I stay absent?
Because the other day I was looking for you were absent.
So it was one day.
Yeah, that's the one day I was looking for you.
Why would
We
you-
need this program going.
I hear you, sir.
So, Nate, tomorrow, first break. Right. And are you popular? So tell your friends this too.
Popular, sir. We have a popular.
I see you over here in the quad busy, everybody.
So wait till you even walk past the call.
You don't even see. You see how busy you are? Tomorrow first break. Huh? It's van drill. Tomorrow first break. And otherwise, I thought this would have gone quicker, man. But we need to close this gap. I sorted you out, so just give me a minute, I'll be with you now.